Oh, morning, morning, morning. Why was it asking me to do that? Evening? No, I'm not very awake, Sam. I have been up for 15 minutes. I put my alarm on for 5 o'clock. I did not wake up for 5 o'clock. Oh. How is everyone doing? Ah, yes. We can sort out. Hang on a second. Give me a sec. I'm going to change scene. The stuff is ready for me to sort out. Stop that, because we're definitely not ending the stream, so that can stay there. Oh, how is everyone? I can't believe for some of you it's Saturday. I'm in the future. Sunday looks good, guys. Sunday looks good. Right, let's just sort this out. Then we can make that larger. Right, let's see what that's like. I think I might have COVID, but I still doubt it. Yeah, it's that time of the year, isn't it now? We're coming into that time of the year where it's a bit colder. Hence, I'm wearing a hoodie. First time in a long time I've had to put a hoodie on, so. I'm looking forward to this time of the year though. But yeah, no, I feel a little bit iffy myself actually. My throat feels a little bit up. Right, there we go. We are ready and good to go. Happy day. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Still raining in DC, John? What time is it where you are? 5 o'clock, what, midnight? 5 hours behind? Your mum and numerous friends are 6. Yeah, it always happens. As soon as like we go out of summer into as soon as we go from summer into like autumn and winter. So anywho, right. Yeah, how is everyone? You all doing good? Canada. 10:38 PM. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice late Saturday night evening race for you. Must be weird watching an F1 race on a Saturday night. A live race start at Spa this morning. Yeah, the week 13 one. Tired Spud, why do you like this sport? I know. 12:39. Okay, so not too bad then. I bet for a lot of you. I mean, yeah, it's weird watching a race at 6 o'clock in the morning. Getting up for 5 in the morning. It's a good thing I like you lot. Oh, right. So, good news. It's dry. We haven't had a dry Suzuka race in a long time. So, morning, Mark. Good to see you, buddy. Or evening, wherever you are in the world. I've been racing for years now and got into GT7. It's a big difference. Oh, 100% it is. I mean, I don't even race GT7, but GT7 is more of a sim. Forza is more arcade, Nighthawk. So, yeah, you've definitely made the step up, or the first step to becoming a proper sim racer is what I would say. So, yeah, it's a proper sim. Even then, I say even then it's a proper sim. Even then, it's not a proper. You've got another level to go to having like racing proper sims like Assetto Corsa and iRacing and stuff. But yeah, GT7 is definitely a step up from Forza. I think I watched Australian GP as well at night. Yeah, there's only a couple of them, isn't there? China, what time would China be? China's probably another evening race or morning race for me because they're 8 hours ahead. I think that's similar to... I think China would be similar time to Suzuka, actually. So I think they're pretty much on the same one. Did I get early access to Forza Motorsport? No. It's not really my MO. It's not really what I would do. Forza Motorsport. I've loved Forza Motorsport. I think it's great to just sit back and chill and with a controller and just play around with. Always recommend it. Used to play it on my Xbox a lot. Always a gorgeous looking game. Oh, you're in Israel, Mark. Okay. So what are you then? You must be a couple of hours ahead. What are you, 9 o'clock? 8 o'clock, something like that? Once you get your wheel, you'll be trying out ATC. Good man. 20 to 8. Okay, so yeah, you are a couple of hours ahead then. It's 20 to 6 here. It's not even 6 bloody clock yet. But right, guys. Right. So let's have a look, as we always do, at the strategies. Thank you guys for joining me already. 23 of you this morning. I don't expect, with kind of this race being at the time it is, I don't expect to see the usual faces. It's good to see some usual faces, but I don't expect to like get the numbers that we've had done in the previous weeks for obvious reasons because of the time difference. Let's have a look at the Pirelli strategies. So, why is that coming up so small? Don't know. So, first things first, here is Pirelli's. I'm going to move that out of the way actually. Pirelli's preferred strategies for today, guys. We have a two-stopper. Yes! Two stoppers! Yes! Thank God. For me, Scott. All for me. What lap will Sargent crash and what lap will Stroll? Oh dear. Bless them both. Yeah, not doing themselves any favours, are they? Not doing themselves any favours. But yes, two stoppers. So it looks like soft to hard. Two hard compound tyres. Obviously, Suzuka, very hard on the tyres here because of the nature of the circuit. Obviously, lots of high speed corners which require a lot of downforce. So yes, hard makes sense actually. Interesting there that the second one is using all compounds of tyre, and then they've got the two stopper of the soft, hard, soft. I wonder if anyone will try and mix it up and do the one stopper. I wonder if they will. Let's have a look at the tyres that they've got left. So this is a bit small for some reason, but don't know if you guys can make that out. So we have Verstappen has 3 brand new sets of medium tyres available and 1 new set of hard tyres. So I assume he's probably going to go for a medium hard, or like a hard, medium, something like that, or whatever. To be honest, he could do whatever he likes. He's so quick this weekend. Perez has got 2 mediums. Leclerc's got 2 mediums. Sainz has got 2 mediums. Intriguingly, Russell and Hamilton have got 2 sets of hards. So they're going to be on a different strategy compared to those around them. Norris and Piastri also have 2 sets of hards. So it'd be interested to see that battle today. I think Russell and Hamilton, while they are definitely off the pace compared to like Verstappen and McLaren, I think they've set their car up more for race day than they did for qualifying. So we'll see how they cope in the race compared to just a single lap pace as they did in qualifying, which was quite poor. Ocon and Gasly have got a brand new set of softs because Alpines are terrible at the moment. I mean, Bottas and Zhou got 3 new sets, so is Sargent. That's pretty much it, really, guys. That's kind of the only relevance. But so yeah, Ferrari definitely not going to be able to do 2 sets of hards. Neither are neither is Red Bull. But Red Bull is so good in their tyres anyway. They treat the mediums like they're a set of hards. But intriguing that Norris, Piastri. The fight today to keep an eye out on is of course Ferrari, McLaren, and Mercedes. So a bit of strategy mix up there. Intriguing. Right, let's get rid of that. Let's bring that back in. And move you guys back down here. But yeah, it doesn't look like Max has broken his arm on the way to the grid, guys. So, yeah, looks like it's going to be a Max Verstappen win today. Thanks for joining us so early. Or so late in the evening. Did Ferrari save a set of softs yesterday? I think so. Yeah, that just indicated they got a brand new set, doesn't it? No, they didn't. Sorry, no, they haven't. No one in the top 10 has got a brand new set of softs available. So that strategy is probably going to turn into a medium hard. We're on the hardest. We're not quite on the hardest set of compound tyres yet. The hardest is C0, C1, C2. We're on the hardest hard tyre this weekend is a C1. So we've got C1, C2, C3. So it's not quite the hardest tyre. Oh God, just dropped that in my coffee. Has Sargent outcrashed Mazepin and Schumacher? No one can outcrash Mazepin, can they? No one. Mandatory 2-stopper for 2024 onwards? I don't know. I don't like every race being a 2-stopper. I like the races being a risk of going for a 1-stopper. So today, Mercedes might try and risk a 2-stopper, a 1-stopper, because they haven't got the pace. So they might try and get those positions up on strategy, which mixes things up a bit. I like to see it. We'll see. Hey, Tobias, good to see you. Morning, Liam. Morning, good to see you join me this early in the morning, mate. We do medium in and whatever the race dictates, either soft or hard. What, for Max? Yeah, he could do whatever he bloody well likes. How's the qualifying? Haven't seen the results yet. It was all right. Good to see Piastri and Norris up on second and third. Max was just supreme. Very, very quick. Brand new engine this weekend as well. Brand new floor. So any kind of issues they've had with the new technical directives, they've kind of not papered over the cracks, but they've not allowed us to see because they've got a brand new engine in, which kind of negates any of those issues. Obviously, the other teams, I think every team, by the sounds of it, has been affected by the new technical directives, which is this flexi floor and flexi wing in some way or another. Red Bull bought a brand new kind of power unit to not allow anyone a true sense of whether or not they've been affected, which is smart of them, really, to be honest. Keeps the other teams thinking. Am I iRacing? Predominantly, yes. Yeah, I actually gave R Factor 2 a go the other day at a sim racing event that I went to with other content creators, and I don't think I'll be jumping on that sim again anytime soon. To say the least, it's not really for me. iRacing is still where I think is just. It is the best out there at the moment, I think, for the all-round package anyway. There's still lots of things it lacks behind, but as an all-round package, and especially the online experience, you can't beat it at the moment. So, for Fanatec, it is, yeah. Yeah, it's what they held the 24-hour Le Mans, virtual Le Mans on. So, yeah. Project Cars 3 best sim. Oh, can't tell if that's sarcasm or not. Project Cars 2 is a good sim. Project Cars 3 is more like a mobile game. Morning, Jordan. Good to see you, mate. I bet this is nice for you. Having a race at a reasonable time. You don't often experience this, do you? Where is it where you are, mate? Is it, what is it, like evening for you? Because you're like 12 hours difference, aren't you? Or is it like 5 in the afternoon, something like that? And F1 had compounds from hard to super soft. We're bringing these tyres back and mandating 2 stops work better for F1. Probably. I think it would mix things up a bit. I think it's more so I think the compound of tyres. I don't think mandating 2 stops is necessary, but I think Pirelli need to be, and they have done in the second half of the year. The first half of the year, they were very, very cautious on their compounds of tyre, their tyre choice. I mean, we had at Miami, Max taking a set of hard compound tyres, like nearly the whole length of the race, and still being the quickest man on track, with people coming out on brand new tyres. Like, it just, on one hand, it's great to see that obviously Red Bull have created a car like that can manage the tyres that well, but in no world should someone who's on 45, 50 lap old hard tyres still be the quickest man on track. It just shouldn't happen, and that's down to Pirelli making a mistake on the compound of tyre that they brought. So there's been a few instances of that this year. They've got better at being less cautious. So yeah, I think they need to just try and not be. They need to just. They're worried about their tyres going off, basically. That's it. 5:51 on a Sunday night. Oh, nice one, mate. Yeah, that's a comfortable time, isn't it? Sit down with your roast dinner, watching F1. Question of the race: how badly will Perez lag behind Piastri, Norris, Russell, and Hamilton? I think Perez will be in the mix today for that second place and that podium. The podium is behind Max is gonna be interesting today. You need to pretty much just cross Max out. I might put a line through Max's name, to be honest. He's that quick this weekend. But behind him for the podium today is going to be really interesting, because I do believe Mercedes set the car up for the race this weekend. They have sacrificed qualifying. Leclerc looks to be the faster of the 2 Ferrari drivers this weekend. The McLarens look very good, very, very good. And Perez had a bit of a poor qualifying, but I think he's not looking too bad on the long pace. So, to be fair, yeah, from Russell to Piastri today, I think we're in for a good fight. So just ignore Max, guys. Max isn't there. Max isn't there. Just had a chicken burger. Oh. As long as you put some greens in it, like lettuce, then it makes it. At least you can convince yourself it was healthy. Thinking Perez P2, to be fair, Liam. Yeah, possibly. That's what I mean. I think we're in for an intriguing fight, especially with the different tyres that we just showed they've got today. So, as we said, the Mercedes have got 2 brand new sets of hard tyres today to use, whereas as well as McLaren, whereas the Ferraris only have 1 set of hards, and so does Perez. So we will see. We will see if I think that leaves. It'd be intriguing to see if any of them start on the hard at the front of the grid, or if they start on the medium. Because if you start on the hard tyre, it probably leaves you the option of doing it. Starting on the hard tyre leaves you the option of doing a 1-stop or a 2-stop. But then again, so does starting on the medium, to be fair. So, either or. I don't think it really matters which tyre they start on, to be honest, today. How many seconds will Max win by? It was about half a second a lap quicker, so probably... I'm going to guess... Oh, yeah, I'm going bold. I'm going to go 50 seconds. And I reckon he's going to lap... everyone but the top 5. I genuinely think we're going to see like a pure dominant performance today. Everyone but the top 5 is going to lap today. And I'm saying that because I'm still not sure on Lewis and Russell's, the Mercedes pace. Hey Tyler, good to see you, mate. Oh, have you actually, Jordan? Yeah, I like Lawson. I'm really gutted he hasn't got a seat for next year. I mean, what more do you need to do? What more do you need to do, to be honest? You come in, I mean, yeah. I get it that Danny Rick is like back, but isn't the AlphaTauri team supposed to be like for their junior drivers? Quite evidently, we discussed this briefly yesterday, and we'll discuss it just briefly again. So the reason why I think Lawson hasn't been picked is purely for one reason: marketing. So Sonoda, it has come out that Honda helped with contract negotiations with Red Bull. So he has Honda backing. So there's a relationship there still to be had with Red Bull in regards to Honda. Oh, here we go. Tyre blankets are coming off. I'll just finish my point on Lawson. And Lawson, Danny Rick, as we know, is very marketable. Probably one of the most popular faces in F1 across the world. And then Perez brings in a shed load of cash from the South American market. And just like, well, even though Mexico is technically North America, like he just brings in so much money from Mexico and that South American market because they just identify with him. South American F1 fans and that. So yeah, Lawson doesn't have any of that. So Lawson's just got talent and is a quick driver. So unfortunately, yeah, he doesn't have that backing so that they're going to honour Perez's contract for another year, get that cash, not pay out Perez's last year of his contract. There's also that element as well. And then, yeah, they've then got 3 drivers that they can choose to take that Red Bull seat. So yeah, money, unfortunately. And as we know, F1 is all about the money. So it's a shame. It is a shame. I think he totally deserves it. He's come in. Obviously, him being a Super Formula has massively helped. So, yeah, he'll be there. SF Race has been an absolute mess for you this week, Tyler. Yeah, it's been a bit up and down, to be honest. I've had my ups and downs, mate. You're not alone there. You're not alone. People still getting used to the fact of how late you can brake in this car and the concertina effects and stuff. It'll get better. It'll get better as the weeks go on. Race karts together, everyone sees him as an F1 driver, but I see him as a friend. Ah, friends. Get him on iRacing. Get him to join our Super Formula League. Good morning, James. Good morning. Good to see you. Good to see the numbers starting to creep up now. Everyone's starting to wake up. Everyone's had their morning coffee. Or if you're in America, you're having your 5th beer. Because it's like 1 a.m. in the morning or something. You're on the shots already to stay awake. Am I 3K I rating yet? I'm 1 I rating away. If you see my latest video, Jordan, I needed 68 I rating in a top split race, and I got 67. So, am I 21? Oh yeah, I mean, look at me. Anyone who says I'm not 21, I feel 21 anyway. Right, guys, let's have a look at those tyres that they've actually got on. So no one's starting on the hard compound tyre, which I think is a little bit strange. I thought someone maybe might mix it up with the hard compounds and try and go long at the start, but clearly not the strategy. So as the guys are on their formation lap, we have Verstappen down to Russell starting on the medium tyre. Then we've got Tsunoda, Alonso and Lawson on the soft tyre. Now, Lawson has a brand new set of soft tyres available to him, whereas Tsunoda and Alonso are on used. We have Gasly, Albon, Ocon and Magnussen splitting those soft tyre runners there with the medium tyres. And then we've got, of course, Bottas, Stroll, Hulkenberg and Zhou have 3 brand new sets of softs available to them because they got knocked out in Q1. And interestingly, Logan Sargent starting from the pits because, well, we all know what happened to him yesterday, bending it in the wall, of course. So they've obviously made a lot of setup changes and broken Parc Ferme. So yeah, not long until this Japanese Grand Prix gets underway round a dry Suzuka, guys. When was the last time we could say that? Risk of rain is 0%. 0. It's not often you get that in Japan, is it? So, yes, great to see you all here so early in the morning. It's 1 minute past 6 where I am in the UK. 1 minute past 6. Whew. Yeah, only Tsunoda and Alonso are on used softs. So the strategy today is indicated to be a 2-stopper. There is the opportunity for a 1-stopper, which we may still see. To be honest, the guys on the mediums are the only ones I think that could probably do a 1-stopper. Pirelli did say it would be a soft to hard. So they're predicting that the hard tyre could go quite long here, but I don't know. I don't see that happening at Suzuka. I think the medium leaves you the option of doing a comfortable 1-stopper and a 2-stopper. So do I think Merck's going to gain or lose positions? They haven't looked great this weekend, but definitely set the car for the race instead of quality. That's my thinking, Tyler. They've struggled anyway. They've definitely been off the pace compared to everyone else. I think they've probably recognised that quite quickly on the Friday. So they've just gone, look, we're not going to have the single lap pace. Let's focus on setting this car up and our race runs for our long runs on the Saturday for the race. So yeah, we'll see how they get on as this race progresses. So yes, not long, guys. So let's have a rundown of your grid. If you didn't watch qualifying yesterday, we have Verstappen P1, who was just supreme, over half a second quicker than that of Piastri in P2. Norris P3, Leclerc 4th, Perez 5th, Sainz 6th. Then the 2 Mercedes 7th and 8th. Tsunoda 9th, great qualifying at his home Grand Prix. Alonso 10th, Lawson 11th, Gasly 12th, Albon 13th, Ocon 14th, Magnussen, Bottas, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Zhou, and then bringing up the rear and starting from the pit lane today is Logan Sargent after he binned it in Q1. Let's finish this coffee, gulp it down before we start. Get that caffeine buzz, guys. Here we go. If you're new to this channel, please hit the like button and subscribe. And yes, let's go. Let's go. Only a couple of moments away, guys, from the Japanese Grand Prix. It's a sunny Suzuka, something we are not familiar with here. So we are in store for a great race round a historic and brilliant track. Lights are on, and it is... away we go as they head down into the first corner. Is anyone... Verstappen seems to have bogged down at the start there as Norris has got a very good start down into the first corner. Is he able to hold on to the position? I think Verstappen has regained it after an initial bad start, but Norris has jumped his teammate Piastri into P2, as well as Sainz into Perez. Alonso, a massive winner there. What has occurred there? Alonso gaining 4 positions there into the first corner, and there's a yellow flag. There's a yellow flag already. Bottas down at the back. I wonder if there's been contact made. Obviously, lots of cars into a very small area of track there Ocon also losing 5 positions, Albon losing 3, Hulkenberg gaining 4. Sargent is already up 3 positions after starting from the pit lane on the back of his teammate. There's definitely been contact there, but at the start, Norris has gained a position on his teammate Piastri. Leclerc still false signs his first as they head down into Spoon Corner for the first time out of the hairpin. Hamilton and Russell losing a position, Perez losing 2 as well. I'm just watching the race start here to see what contact there has been, because Bottas has lost obviously a lot, and there's a safety car already, so quite a clear. Oh my god, it was a massive contact down into the first corner, guys. That is why there is a safety car that has come out between Bottas and Ocon, I believe. I just want to watch that back because they haven't shown a replay of it just yet, but you could see as they headed down into the first corner that Bottas made some big crashes there, made big contact, with those into the first corner. And by the way, great side by side action between Tsunoda and Lawson. They went side by side all the way through the S's, and Lawson chucking it down, making the move down the outside of the 2 Degners under the bridge. Brilliant driving from the Tsunoda and Lawson there. Very respectful. But Lawson starting on those soft compound tyres, helping him a lot. But yeah, Verstappen did bog down at the start, guys. And well, he had to move all the way over to cover off Norris. That's why obviously we saw his icon there drop behind Lando. So Lando did get ahead, but then he was pretty much Verstappen able to hold off Lando there as
Love
they went into T1.
Mate. Looking forward to battles in AOR.
Cheers, Jordan. Much appreciated, mate. Much appreciated. Thank you for the 10. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Apex Racing League as well in the Super Formula Series. But yes, so we have pit stops from Zhou. The 2 Alphas caught up in it there. I'm still waiting for a replay to see exactly what occurred, but one of the Alphas pretty much has their front. Valtteri Bottas has his front wing end plate ripped off entirely, but there's definitely more damage that occurred, it seems, with Ocon, Albon and Bottas. It seemed like 3 cars moved over at the start. Before they even got down to the first corner, there was a lot of jostling for position, and we'll see exactly what occurred. But a lot of debris there. So Ocon's out on the hard compound tyre. Does he think he can take the hards to the end? Right, here we go. Watching the race start back. Let's have a look and see exactly what occurred in the background. So, trying to see what happened. Oh, so Ocon basically pinched one of the Alphas into Albon. Oh no. So Ocon, I think that's on Ocon. Albon's on the outside, just holding his line. Bottas or Zhou is in the middle. And basically, Ocon just continues to pinch Bottas or the Alpha of Zhou. I don't know which one it is. And Ocon just continues to move over as Bottas does one of the Alphas does leave him room. And I imagine the Alpha in the middle is like, I can't go any further. Why are you still pinching me? Oh my god, Carlos Sainz. And I'm loving this new Carlos Sainz, guys. This new Carlos Sainz is great. So aggressive. So aggressive. He went for the smallest gap between his teammate and Sergio Perez there. As Lewis Hamilton also made contact with Perez on the outside there. Wheel-to-wheel contact. Wow. Oh, I'll tell you what, it got very feisty. And Fernando Alonso just went, thank you very much. So, watching, oh my god, yeah, Alex Albon was just holding his line and got Alfa Romeo shoved in his face, basically. Let's see it from the other position. Which Alfa is it who's got that damage? Is it Bottas? So Kevin Magnussen was the car behind. Bit naughty there. I mean, they're going to do it as a first lap incident, but it's caused by the Alpine of Ocon just continually moving over. Let's have a look. Okay, so it is Bottas. It is Bottas who got pinched there, and Guan Yu Zhou Oh man, Guan Yu Zhou's like a car, like 2 car lengths behind them, 3 car lengths behind them, and just picks up basically. He just collects all the debris. Oh no, he just collects all of the debris, and that's why Zhou's had to pit. So Perez has had to pit. Oh, Perez has had to pit as well. Did he have damage? Did he have damage there from the contact with Hamilton? I think he might have done. I don't think that's a conscious decision to pit Perez down 30. Yes, Perez has had to pit for a brand new front wing, guys, with that contact with Hamilton. So, of course, similar situation. Sainz saw a gap, went straight through it between him and Leclerc, and trying to avoid that, didn't realise that Hamilton had a better start than Perez and was coming round his outside and made contact with Hamilton. But I think Hamilton's okay because it was Hamilton's front wheel that made contact with, or wheel rim that made contact with Perez's front wing. So Perez, we're going to see Perez now down in 18th position. Hopefully, give us some intrigue and fight his way back for the pack. But wow. During safety car, do we have to maintain speed under limit, or the cars at the back like Bottas can go for all throttle until they join the group? I think they're allowed to go quicker as long as race control gives them the heads up to do so. They're not allowed to go full speed. I think they're only allowed to go maybe like 75% speed until they catch up the pack, something like that. Because I don't know if you remember, the whole reason that kind of happened was Jules Bianchi. Jules Bianchi was trying to catch up to the back of the pack on a wet track at full speed while there was still a vehicle just off the circuit, and that's why that incident occurred. So I don't know if it's under a safety car period just like this. I think maybe there's no vehicles on track. I think they're allowed to go full speed, at least like at a certain period. Oh no, it could get worse for Sergio Perez already, guys. Incident involving Perez noted. Safety car infringement. What safety car infringement is that? Oh no. They have to stay under a delta. I think so. They're definitely allowed to go quicker. They're definitely allowed to go like faster than they are under the VSC to catch the back of the pack. I just don't think they're allowed to go full speed. So, the missus is up. Yeah, I heard her clashing plates earlier, about 10 minutes ago. Obviously, my voice has woken her up. It's either that or the cat jumping on her face. So, don't blame me. It was the cat last time. It was the cat that woke her up. These 1am are much nicer than 7am for you, running the mills. Yeah, roles reversed today, roles reversed. The safety car is coming in this lap, guys, and we'll have racing underway again. What impresses me more about F1 drivers is their ability to go time zone swapping and still perform. Yes, yeah, well, they all have like physios and therapists or whatever it is to actually deal with that. So they're given like proper sleep schedules, when to sleep on the plane and stuff to get themselves acclimatized. So when they land, like that's why they stay at Singapore. That's why they stay on UK time or European time anyway. Right, here we go, guys. Safety car is coming in as Verstappen backs up the pack as they head through 130R. So let's have a look. So the big winners there, as we said last time around, was Alonso up into P4. Of course, Perez, the biggest loser there, down 13 positions from some front wing damage he received from Lewis Hamilton there. Of course, Bottas. Bloody cat. Bottas at the back there. Norris and Leclerc glitching out a little bit there. I was going to say, they're not that far back. So let's see what can happen down into the first corner. Is there going to be any more shenanigans here? Of course, everyone is massively backed up. We won't have DRS for another couple of laps, as is always the case under a restart. So here we go, guys. Verstappen gets his foot down as he comes out of the last chicane and seems to have got a great launch on Lando Norris here. So Lando, is he able to do anything on Verstappen? No, I don't think so. And Verstappen is your race winner for today, guys. I'm jumping the gun. But yeah, most likely. So Norris on the medium tyre is defending from his teammate Piastri. Leclerc there has to be wary of a feisty Carlos Sainz, who made a great move between him and Perez there at the start, which Perez avoided and subsequently made contact with Lewis, which has given him damage and is why he is down the back of the grid. But it seems that everyone is held station there as they head down into the first corner and make their way through the center S's into the first Degnar. The little kink, turn number 8, under turn number 9, which takes them under the bridge. And then into turn 11, the tight off-cambered hairpin, where lockups are very prevalent. But yes, Lawson up there into P9, beating his newly signed or renewed contracted teammate Tsunoda for AlphaTauri. So Lawson without a drive for next year, reserve/sim driver for AlphaTauri/Red Bull next year. So Lawson putting in a solid performance today with just, yeah, he can just stand there with his hands out and go, why not me? Why not me? So I hope I have something covering the power button. I don't. Is she on one at the moment? Okay, so Norris, Verstappen and Norris putting out a gap, interestingly enough, already to the pack behind. Piastri had a very slow first and second sector there, so maybe struggling to switch on the tyres compared to his teammate there through the course of that lap. But what's occurred with Bottas again, by the way? Bottas was at the back of the pack. Has Bottas had another issue? Bottas had a very, very slow second sector, so I think Bottas might have a terminal issue, you know. I think Bottas might be retiring from this race, but intriguingly, Verstappen, of course, just going to set purple after purple after purple. Perez has made a position up on the Williams of Albon there, so I imagine he's going to pick people off one by one on the hard compound tyre. But yes, Norris making a gap to his teammate at the moment. Nearly 2 second gap to him and Piastri. Importantly for the Ferraris is that Leclerc is within that DRS of Piastri. DRS will be activated next time around. So yeah, keep an eye out on that. Alonso wedged in between a Ferrari and Mercedes sandwich at this moment in time, guys. So yeah, keep an eye out on a feisty Alonso. Although he is losing time, he's already out of the DRS of those two Ferraris, and Hamilton and Russell will be looking to get past Alonso as quick as they can. Interestingly enough, as well, Lawson starting to pull away from Tsunoda. He's broken the DRS of Tsunoda at the moment. DRS will be activated this lap, and yeah, is staying on the back of the two Mercedes. Of course, not up to the races quite this weekend, but yeah, that is great so far from Liam Lawson in an AlphaTauri. Mercedes went wheel to wheel. Doesn't surprise me. Oh yeah, just watching it back on the TV coverage now, and they did go wheel to wheel, didn't they? Woo! Just watching that. So George overtook Lewis into the chicane, and then Lewis got it back into turn 1. Great racing. Great racing. Right, so DRS will now be activated, but Norris 2.2 seconds behind that of Verstappen at the moment, but importantly 2.2 seconds ahead of his teammate Piastri. So yeah, similar gaps forming. Of course, we expect to see Verstappen pull away, as he did a 37.8 last time around compared to that of a 38 from Norris. He's just going to pull away. What did I guess? 50 seconds? I think I said 50 seconds is what we'll see. So Bottas into the pits and most likely to retire this car, unfortunately for him. No fault of his own, I believe. Just obviously that first lap incident or first corner incident, getting wedged by Ocon there. Yeah, he's been the wrong end of the stick, shall we say. Or was it Sargent on Bottas? Was it Sargent? Was it Sargent on Bottas? Is that what happened? Oh no, Bottas is coming back out into the pits. Bottas is continuing. He's a trooper, but he's going to get caught up in the pack already. He's going to be lapped already, and it's only lap 8. It's just a testing day for him. This is just a testing day for him. So, yes, let's have a look. DRSs will be activated now, as we know. So, Norris, 2.2 seconds ahead of his teammate Piastri. Maybe struggling with that tyre warm-up at the moment. A 38.7 last time around for Piastri compared to Norris with a 38.3. Leclerc 39, as well as Sainz. Alonso on the soft compound tyre, also setting a 39. And Hamilton and Russell just in the low 39s also. Lawson, a high 39. Important for him really today to just focus on himself, try and tow along with the Mercedes as best as he can to pull away from his teammate Yuki Tsunoda. That's all we can really ask from him today. Intriguingly, Lance Stroll is up 6 positions into P11, as well as Nico Hülkenberg. Where has that crept up from? So yeah, not too bad from those two at the moment, who had very poor qualifying yesterday. We have, of course, Magnussen, Gasly behind with Ocon not too far behind as well. Perez in P11 has got past Zhou now. Sargent all the way at the back. Clipped him. Sargent clipped him. Yeah, Sargent's not doing very well, is he? Sargent's not doing very well to really stake a claim in that second seat for next year. Why do you have a feeling that Norris will win today? I don't know. Really get the feeling Russell really tries to prove something. Oh, of course he does, Connor. Of course he will. Of course he will. Feels like he's got something to prove after last weekend. And he's probably looked at the data and knows that Hamilton could have won that race last weekend. Oh, Hamilton all over the back of Alonso there. Is he able to sweep round the outside of Alonso into turn 2? No. Alonso holds onto that position as Hülkenberg comes into the pits already 8 laps on the soft compound tyre, pitting after 6 positions gained at the start. This is a strategy call by the Haas team already this early on, unless he's picked up damage, I think, but he's on the medium compound tyre. I think this is them committing to a 2-stop and probably getting him out of that middle of the pack, get him into some clean air, and maybe do the undercut on a number of these drivers here. Maybe a genius call by the Haas team already. Let's see what happens there. But the soft compound tyre, only 8 laps on the soft, seems very, very low. Very, very low. We will see. Mercedes upgrades don't seem to have an impact compared to McLaren and Ferrari. Yeah, did they have they brought something this weekend? I think I did read somewhere that they brought something. Bottas retired. It makes sense. It makes sense. He's just going to be in the way of everyone, isn't he? They've been a very poor team this year, Alfa Romeo. Oh, a 5-second time penalty for Logan Sargent. His weekend goes from bad to worst. He is not only 62 seconds behind. He's not only 23 seconds behind the next car ahead of him, Nico Hülkenberg, 63 seconds behind the leader, and he now has a 5-second time penalty. And also, Perez has been given a 5-second time penalty for a safety car infringement. So Perez's day has also just got from bad to worse as well. But yes, we are seeing, guys, strategic moves being made already by those on the soft compound tyre as Yuki Tsunoda comes into the pits off the softs and will most likely be going onto the medium compound or a hard compound tyre. Let's see what he comes out on. Of course, this is probably to stay ahead of Nico Hülkenberg, who has made quite a considerable amount of time there. Purple in the last sector. That's faster than, of course, anyone thus far. It is all over the back of Yuki, who comes out onto the mediums. So yes, those guys committing to a 2-stop on the soft compound tyre already coming into the pits to cover off those who are in clean air. Well, Hülkenberg is the only one who was in clean air, but you can see quite the amount of time that he did make up there on Yuki. So yes, maybe expect to see some of those soft runners pull the trigger, like Lawson, like Stroll, to cover off the charging Tsunoda and Hülkenberg. We will see, unless they decide to stay on the, unless they decide to go onto the hard. No, they only had one set of hard compound tyres. So yeah, it's most likely going to be soft, medium, hard. So yeah, put Lawson in. 2 races deliver the milk and cookies to the old ladies down the lane. His driver does not show more promise. Unfortunately not. No, unfortunately it doesn't seem to be that way, does it? How much time can you give a rookie? You'd like to see some sort of improvement, as Magnussen is all over, is being attacked all by Ocon at the moment as they head into the last chicane. As Perez with his 5-second time penalty, and Lawson is also into the pit. So yes, we are starting to see those soft runners come into the pits here. Let's see if Lawson can get out ahead of his teammate Yuki Tsunoda, who he did have a bit of a considerable lead on, a good couple of seconds, and I think that is going to remain the case. It's going to be close. It is going to be close. Oh my god, I think Yuki might get this here. I think Yuki might get this as they head down into T1, and Yuki has jumped Lawson. Oh, favoriting there, guys. Yuki Tsunoda over Liam Lawson. I'd feel a bit aggrieved if I was Liam Lawson there, to see your teammate, who you had a 2-second lead over, just disappear there by him coming in first. They'll say it was to cover Hulkenberg, but was it really? Was it really? Well, we will see. But I think there's a good battle to keep an eye on there today between Liam and Yuki. They've already gone wheel to wheel through the first lap. That's going to be one I'm keeping an eye on for sure. So let's have a little bit of a check on the leaders. So of course, Verstappen putting out a gap considerably, 7 tenths quicker than that of Lando Norris last time around, to his second quickest on track, and of course second as well. So yes, just that 50 seconds is looking good, my prediction. Lando is 4 seconds ahead of his teammate, interestingly enough. Piastri just seems to be struggling in this phase of the race. Has he picked up a bit of damage? I mean, he's third quickest as Alonso on the soft compound tyre comes into the pits. Let's see where Alonso comes out. Is he going to come out ahead? He's going to come out in that gap of Tsunoda, but the medium compound tyres seems to have fired up really quickly. Really quickly. Let's see what Yuki and Lawson are actually able to set time-wise. A 38.7 by Yuki there last time around. Only quicker at the moment is Verstappen. So yeah, the medium compound tyre is firing up pretty quickly. As look, Yuki is like really close to Alonso at the moment, who has come out the pits on the hard compound tyre. I still expect Alonso to pull away from that AlphaTauri, but intriguing battle going on between Lawson and Tsunoda there, as you can see. Lawson now within the DRS. But yeah, Piastri seems to be struggling at this phase of the race in the first stint. Yeah, look at him. Look, 4.3 seconds behind Lando at the moment, and Leclerc is kind of staying with. Oh, there's a yellow flag. There is a yellow flag. What has occurred here? It's got to be debris of some sort. That is a very odd place for there to be. Oh no, Magnussen has spun it. Has he spun it out of the hairpin there? He seems to be trickling along. Has he lost it? I think he spun it. Was there contact made? It was very close fighting between Ocon and Magnussen there. Has Magnussen spun it out of T11? I mean, I didn't think I'd see that in real life. You see it in the sim and iRacing quite often. Or was it Perez? Was it Perez with another lunge up the inside of Magnussen? Have we seen the return of just the sender of Perez from the Singapore Grand Prix, where he basically just was taking everyone out? I think this is the case. I'm watching the TV coverage now, and Perez is all over the back of Magnussen, so I'm going to assume he's made a lunge down the inside of the hairpin and spun Magnussen. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh my god, what is Perez bloody doing, guys? What is he doing? Oh my god, for fuck's sake. That's worse than anything that he did at Singapore. That is worse than anything he did at Singapore. Wow. Wow. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm speechless at that. That's a guy. I have front wing damage again. No. Excuse my language. No shit, Sherlock. That is ridiculous. You're keeping that man for another season? For another season? Just wait to. If anyone hasn't got TV coverage, just wait until you see this. It's worse than the move on Albon. than he did at Singapore last week. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, guys. That's why Magnussen got spun and why there was a yellow flag. So, Piastri coming into the pits, quite evidently struggling on those medium compound. There's a safety VSC deployed, and I'm going to assume this is for the debris that is in turn 11 because of that ridiculous move by Perez into the hairpin on Magnussen. There'll be lots of punctures received if that debris is allowed to stay out there. Not worth a full safety car. Just allow the marshals to get out there and quickly remove those pieces. But yes, Piastri quite evidently struggling at this first stint on the medium compound tyre going onto the hards. We'll see what he's able to do there. Wonder if it's going to be a 2-stop or a 1-stop. Of course, starting on the medium opens up that opportunity for a 1-stop. But Perez, did he lose more front wing damage? Oh no, so Perez got his safety car infringement by overtaking Alonso, who was ahead of him, into the pit lane. So because the pit lane obviously kind of is a bit shorter run down into the pit lane, he overtook Alonso while entering the pit lane, which is why he got a 5-second time penalty. Oh my God, what a day for Perez already. What a day for Perez. Well, there goes our prediction. Perez making it interesting at the top. He's just... Yeah, he's definitely been watching some NASCAR and he punt to pass. Perez doesn't like end plates, Connor. No, he does not. They're going to run out of front wings. Right, guys. Here we go. So, yeah, just all I'd say, keep an eye out for the highlights and watch that move. It's, yeah... It's a desperate Perez who's out of position and just trying to... Yeah, it's a desperate man, basically. It's a desperate man. So, let's have a look, guys. Let's see what is occurring down this field. So, at the front of the pack again, Verstappen, 9 seconds ahead of Lando now. Pulled out. I think he's pulled out a bit more of a gap there, sneakily, under the VSC. Look at that. Last lap around. What... Lando was sleeping. What was Lando doing? Lando has just lost so much time there under the VSC. 2 minutes free was his last lap compared to Verstappen, Leclerc and Sainz. And everyone else around him. Lando sleeping big time there under the VSC. A 2 minute 3 second lap time. And all of that gap he had to the Ferraris and to Verstappen has just gone. What has occurred there by Lando? Has he had an issue or something? I don't know, because that is a very, very poor decision from him, as Piastri is all over the back of Gasly here on a brand new set of hard compound tyres. Expect this move to be done pretty quickly. But yeah, Lando, who was looking quite comfortable there, has just lost all of that time. Now nearly 10 seconds behind that of Verstappen and only 1.7 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Now he might and probably does have the pace on those Ferraris, but that is just, more importantly for him, could allow Piastri to do the undercut on Norris here, just from that one lap alone. Lando got held off by Perez. Did he? Surely not. Perez is in the pits. Is Perez retired the car? I think Perez has retired the car. Did he get held? Did he hold up Perez? Or did Perez hold him up? Perez retired. Yeah, Perez has retired. That's to basically... that's for the well-being of everyone else out on track. Because, and yeah, look, he's also received a 5-second time penalty for his crash as well. So he's used 2 front wings, he's received 2 5-second time penalties, and he's at the back of the grid. So yes, for his own safety and for everyone else out on track, they're removing him from this race. That's basically what they've done. They'll have to say the car was too damaged, because you can't just willy-nilly retire a car. You have to give a valid reason for it. And I don't think a valid reason... Oh, as Russell overtakes Hamilton there, guys. Russell and Hamilton go wheel to wheel through Spoon Corner. Russell feisty, trying to take it to Lewis. Oh, let's see. I tell you what, sparks are going to fly at some point between these two. Give them two a car that can win races as Verstappen comes into the pits now. Give them a car that can win races, and I tell you what, sparks will fly between those two. It's going to be like Nico and Lewis all over again. I tell you. As Russell is going to get this move done. No. So they come into the pits. That definitely compromised Lewis there, because Lewis not looking to go wheel to wheel into Spoon Corner, of course, not wanting to lose any time and make up as much as possible as he was coming into the pits. Russell seeing an opportunity there. Wow. Yeah, sparks are going to fly with those two. Sparks are going to fly. So Leclerc and Sainz are close together. Hamilton in the pits. Where is Hamilton going to come out? Is he going to be able to get ahead of the AlphaTauris here as they head down into T1? I think he might. Yes. And I'll tell you what, Lewis very feisty there through Spoon Corner with George Russell just going, don't think about it. So, yeah, intriguing fight there between those two. But Hamilton, importantly, getting out ahead of Tsunoda gives him a bit of that clear air there, and he is out on the hard compound tyre. So let's see if any of the Ferraris will pit. Lando going extremely long here at the moment. Let's see. I think Piastri is gaining quite a bit of time there. So Piastri, look, pitting 3 laps earlier has made up quite a considerable amount of time on Verstappen there. So the mediums were really dropping off, and Piastri looks a lot more at home on the hard compound tyre than he did on the medium. Think one stop possible for Merc? I don't know. 16 laps on the medium is a very short amount of time. They have predicted that a 2-stopper would be medium, hard, as Norris and Leclerc both come into the pits now. So I think, yeah, I'm not sure. I still think there's going to be another hard set of compound tyres that they have to put on. So yeah, but Piastri has got the undercut done on his teammate Lando Norris. Quite a considerable undercut, actually. Norris could be losing out to Alonso here as they head down into T1. You know Alonso. You know he's feisty. You know what he's like. Is he going to be able to have a go at Norris here through turn 2? And no, Norris holds on to the position there. But George Russell yet to come into the pits, going a little bit longer than that of his teammate Lewis Hamilton. So intriguing to see how long he stays out for. Carlos Sainz staying out a lap longer than Leclerc. So most likely going to see them come in again, or maybe they're going to stay out a little bit longer. Maybe they're going to stay out a bit longer and go for the 1-stop and mix it up a little bit. I just think they're losing too much time at the moment on that hard compound tyre to really make the 1-stop work. But we'll see. No worries on. No worries. It's an early race today. It's an early race. Oh, turn 14 incident involving Russell and Hamilton noted, forcing another driver off the track. Oh no, could there be a penalty coming to one of the Mercedes drivers? We will see. So is that the Grand Slam gone for Max, or does he still get it if he wins? No, if he wins and he gets the fastest lap today, then it's a Grand Slam, because he's fastest in every practice session. He got pole in qualifying, so he needs to win today and get the fastest lap. So Sainz into the pits. Oh, because he pitted. Yes. No, sorry, it will be. Yeah. I don't know. Does a Grand Slam mean he has to lead every single lap? I'm not sure a Grand Slam. I think it's kind of changed. I don't know if he had to lead every lap. I thought it was just lead every practice. Be the fastest in every practice session. Be fastest in qualifying. And get fastest lap and win the race. Don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Verstappen already over the back of... He needs to leave every lap. Okay, so Grand Slam's gone then because of that reason. So Verstappen is much faster than Russell, of course, who is on a very old set of medium compound tyres. Interestingly enough, Verstappen has gone on to the mediums. He did have 3 brand new sets this weekend to use. And, well, Norris there, 34.7 compared to a 35.6 of Piastri in the first sector there. So Norris flying on that brand new set of hard compound tyres. It does look like on race pace, but Norris does have the speed over his teammate today. But Ocon holding up the pack here of Leclerc, Alonso, Sainz and Hamilton. Important for Sainz there that he got out ahead of Hamilton. Hamilton, though, on a set of hards compared to Sainz on the set of mediums as Leclerc gets Ocon as they head into Spoon Corner. A great move from Leclerc there, an important one as they now make their way down through 130R as Max has easily got the move done on Verstappen there. But yes, look at Norris. He is 0.8 of a second quicker than Piastri at the moment. He's made up like 2 seconds there on this lap alone in the first 2 sectors. Is the tyre drop-off that severe then? Is it that severe here? Because Piastri's only got 5 laps older hard compound tyres. Because Norris just done fastest lap of the race of 36.6 and Piastri did a 38.5. So yeah, 2 seconds difference there. Is the drop-off that much? It could be, which indicates that we'll definitely see a 2-stopper today, guys, with another set of hard compound tyres to be put on those guys. Alpine's essentially a stop behind since they stopped on that one. Yes. Yes, they are. Yeah, 18 old hards Ocon's on at the moment. So, Lawson is just outside the DRS of his teammate Tsunoda at the moment. He's under attack from Lance Stroll. So Stroll having a good day, a better qualifying, better than his qualifying at least. So Stroll looking to go on the attack and gain another position, up 5 already today in P12. Interestingly there, I just saw Gasly set the fastest last sector. So new tyres, I think the tyre drop-off is quite severe here, guys, because guys who are coming out on the brand new set of tyres. As Alonso gets overtaken by Sainz there into Spoon Corner. Sainz taking the opportunity to overtake Alonso as he was struggling behind Ocon. And well, we've got a bit of a gaggle there, haven't we, between Ocon, Sainz, Alonso and Hamilton. It'll be good to see Alonso and Hamilton go side by side. Anytime we get an opportunity to see that is great to see. Jim Clark still the king of Grand Slams, says 8. That is a lot. Have you seen all the cool effects on the trophies leaked? Yes, I have. Yeah, it's like if you kiss it or something. So Sainz is going to get the move dump on Ocon down into T1. DRS open, easy overtake. Hamilton is not going to be able to overtake Alonso as they're in a little bit of a DRS train at the moment. So Hamilton stuck behind Alonso for another lap, or maybe not, because Hamilton all up the back of Alonso here. Not really any overtaking opportunities down through the S's. Very tight section here. It's all about lining it up, possibly for a move into the first deck. Now turn 8, but even then that's risky in itself. Maybe the hairpin or Spoon Corner is where you can get an overtake done if it's not into the first corner or into the last chicane. But let's have a little bit of a rundown here because Norris is catching Piastri at a rate of knots, a 37.7 last time around. But look how much of a drop-off that is in pace. A 36.6 Norris did on the first full-time lap on his hard compound tyres, and now is a second slower than that before. So be interested to see after this lap what that drop-off is. And maybe Piastri is just managing his tyres here as well. Of course, Verstappen, league of his own. We know that they're not at the races to take it to him today. So it's about securing a double podium for the McLaren boys today. Have I seen a new update on WhatsApp? Now you can follow Merg. Oh, can you? Oh, Alonso. Oh, sorry. Just in that, I just seen Hamilton has got past Alonso there through, or maybe I think was it before 130R, most likely, and is now most likely going to get ahead of Ocon here as well with the DRS open down into T1. Can Hamilton get this done? Keep an eye out on him with the double corner of 1 and 2. And Hamilton does get past Ocon before they get into T1, swooping through that corner alongside Ocon, and now we'll have Sainz in his target sights. George Russell still out. Maybe they're going for the one stop here. I think Mercedes are splitting their strategy, guys, and I think Russell is going to stay out there long and go onto the one stop. So this would be intriguing to see if that works. I like to see it. I like to see a split strategy because it throws something different and it makes the other teams behind get their thinking hats on to see exactly where Russell will be able to end up. But yeah, Hamilton got the move on Alonso done through 130R. Oh, what a move. Love to see it. An overtake through 130R, and Alonso is still struggling to get by Ocon, who is on 20 old lap hard tyres compared to Alonso's, who are half the age of that of Ocon's. So, interestingly, let's keep an eye on Norris and Piastri. So, Piastri did a much faster lap time of 38.2 last time around. Let's see if Norris, 37.5, is he having the same sort of drop-off compared to Piastri? Let's have a look. So, Piastri at 38.2 again, and Norris at 37.6. So, no, Norris much, much quicker at this moment in time, at this stage of the race on those hard tyres, as Sargent gets in the way but moves over. To be fair, I forgot Sargent was even still in this race, guys, to be honest with you. So, just joined. What happened to Perez? Hey, Emily, good to see you. Oh, what happened to Perez? Basically, the Perez that we saw in Singapore turned up again. No. To be fair, he was avoiding Carlos Sainz sending it through a gap at the start. By avoiding Sainz, because he didn't want to create a pinch point, he moved over slightly and didn't realise that Hamilton was on his left, who got a better start than him. Made contact, lost his front wing end plate, came in, took a pit stop and the new front wing, and then he got a 5-second time penalty for overtaking under the safety car because he overtook Alonso while coming into the pit lane. And then he ended up sending it from a different country, postcode, whatever you want to call it, and just basically a move that was never on, took out Magnussen, lost another front wing, got another 5-second time penalty. So they went, come here, Perez, it's time you go and take an early bath. So yeah, just I always say, it's just wait until you see it on the highlights. It was a ridiculous move. It was a desperate move. A man who is just trying to recover a race already. So yeah. Keep it simple. Perez drove like a 2K rating bloke. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Stroll was retired. Oh no, yeah. What's happened to Stroll in all of that? How's Stroll retired? Stroll was going really well. That's got to have been a mechanical issue. Oh no, because Stroll's actually been going quite well. So McLaren reporting, we think Russell will try a one stop. Therefore, he's only a threat if we abuse our tyres. So yeah. They are being asked to do a little bit of tyre management. The McLarens, of course, wanting to secure that double podium today. But I'm waiting to see what happened to Stroll, because Stroll was actually like 6 positions up. So how has he... that's actually a real shame for Stroll, because he was having a good day. He was having a good day. Right, so Russell is all under attack now by Piastri and Norris. We'll see how long it takes them to get past. Piastri is in the DRS. Leclerc and Sainz dropping back a bit. They are on the medium compound tyres at the moment, although Sainz is lapping in the 37s and Leclerc is in the low 38s. But interestingly enough, Norris lapped 38 seconds dead, the same as Leclerc last time around, but on the harder compound tyre. I'm intrigued to see how Hamilton gets on here. Is Hamilton going to be able to get up to the back of these Ferraris? Currently in P7, we know that Mercedes does seem to come alive at the second stage of a race. We are nearly halfway through this race now. Obviously, as the fuel starts to burn off, the Mercedes does seem to come alive a bit more, as Russell is now into the pits. So lap 25, just under halfway of this race completed, he is going to come into the pits and most definitely do a one stop on the hard compound tyres. So we'll see how that gets on as his teammate goes past him. Maybe as well, maybe guys, just a thought here, maybe that's also a conscious decision to separate Hamilton and Russell from fighting against each other, because we've already seen a couple of times at this stage in the first half of this race, Hamilton and Russell have gone wheel to wheel 3 times. I think that's a way for Mercedes to separate them out on track, split the strategy, and yeah, it enables them to not fight each other, because Hamilton, when Russell probably gets on the back of him, will be able to go, look, you're on different strategy, let him pass, and it means they don't have to go wheel to wheel and worry about not losing both of their cars out of this race. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. They won't admit that, but I guarantee you that's why they've done that decision. Mazepin has been retired, yeah. Stroll's been retired for a while. Yeah, I'm still trying to wonder what exactly occurred. I haven't got my headphones in for... I couldn't find them, actually. Couldn't get my headphones for my phone, so I don't know exactly what they were saying. But Norris is much, much quicker than Piastri at the moment. Now, this is going to be intriguing. Are they going to let the McLarens fight, or are they just going to say, look, Oscar, let Norris past? Because he is a lot quicker at the moment at this stage of the race. So I reckon they'll probably let Norris... I reckon Piastri might let Norris past, or maybe not, if they've been told to allow to race. If I was the McLaren team, I would say, look, whoever's quicker, let them pass when they are up the back of you, because we want to secure a double podium today. So... yeah, not Pastry. Yeah, he is a lot faster at the moment. Yeah, he's looking a lot better on that hard compound tyre. The lap time there from Norris is only a 38 because of a 38.3, only because he is stuck behind Piastri. So we've got more pit stops here. Alonso, interestingly, into the pits off of the hard compound tyre, and Lawson into the pits as well. I'm intrigued to see that Alonso is pitting. This has got to be to get him to do the undercut on Ocon, because he was stuck. He couldn't get past Ocon on that hard compound tyre. And Logan Sargent, oh, dagger to the heart, has also been retired from this race. We have 4 retirees from this race already. Sargent, Stroll, Perez and Bottas. They see it as no value, leaving Sargent out there. So yeah, a bit of a shame for him. So Liam Lawson now down into P15, but he is on the hard compound tyre, most likely going to go to the end of this race if he can manage them. So let's see what they can do there. But Piastri still holding off Norris, interestingly, for this last lap. But Norris with the DRS, is he going to be able to make a move down into T1? I think he is. It almost looks like that Piastri has let Norris get past there because that move was comfortably done before they even got into turn 2. So playing the team game, maybe some team orders, let Norris get past, make this as easy as possible, and maybe Piastri, who seems to be struggling a bit more today in the race than that of Norris, might use him to tag him along as best as he can. But Alonso there, that is how good brand new compound tyres are. Alonso, in Sector 2, has set a purple sector. So, yeah. Sargent doing Sargent things, yeah. Why is Norris complaining? He's annoying me. Is he? I'm not seeing it. Well, this is the thing, is that Norris, I think, he's just running the race now. If he wants George to beat, then... yeah, so the thing is, so Norris is actually very, very clever with what he does over the radio. He very much... he's always on the radio kind of complaining about giving back positions and stuff like that. I tell you what, that pairing is going to get very, very feisty. That's another pairing that is going to get feisty in the future. Because Norris, if he doesn't get his own way, I think could throw a little... I reckon he could be a problem. And I reckon you could see some hissy fits come out. Because Piastri's very muted, just goes about his business. And I can see Piastri just getting under the skin of Norris. At the moment, Piastri is the rookie, of course, so Norris gets the preferential treatment. Today, Norris is rightfully and quite evidently the quicker driver. So something's just not quite clicking with Piastri. I wonder if maybe he's picked up some damage from the debris or something. He seems oddly off the pace compared to Norris. So, yeah, be intrigued to see if they've picked up any debris and there's damage that is costing him time there. But yeah, that pairing is going to get feisty in the future, guys. So yeah, that's definitely one to keep an eye on as Piastri has signed a new contract to 2026. But let's have a look as, yes, Emily has just said that Russell is looking quick, 37.6. So he's over about half a second a lap quicker than that of Lewis at the moment. So Russell on the one stopper has to be careful of his tyres though. He needs to make these go to the end. Verstappen currently 13 seconds ahead of Norris. Norris now pulling away from his teammate Piastri. Leclerc and Sainz, I think, are probably maybe in a bit of tyre management phase. They're not really making much time on Piastri, 39.3. Oh, no, they are actually. Sorry, that's a complete lie. What am I doing, Scott? Read the data. Leclerc, 39.3 last time around. Sainz, a 38.8, whereas Piastri was a 39.7. Hamilton, a 38.3. So he is definitely catching the Ferraris as well at a rate of knots. And so is Russell. And then we have the two Alpines, who are actually on a nice recovery race at the moment after a terrible qualifying. Currently P8 and 9th. Ocon, 26 lap old hard tyres after pitting on the first lap, pretty much. Then we have Tsunoda and Alonso. Feisty Alonso, low 37s last time around on those brand new hards compared to Tsunoda, who is on old mediums. Zhou trudging along there, kind of on his own as the only Alfa Romeo in 12th. Hulkenberg 13th, Magnussen 14th. As Ocon now comes into the pits off those hards, and Lawson is at the back of the pack at the moment, catching the Haas of Magnussen on a brand new set of hards, most likely going to the end. Half like Prost and Senna in their personalities, Piastri and Norris. Maybe. It's just definitely one to keep an eye out on. I think we've seen a few instances this year of Norris just getting a bit tetchy over the radio, and it's like, I wonder. Perez just got back in a car? No, they can't get Perez back in the car. What? Are you kidding? No way. They can't bring Perez back out now after they've said he's retired. Are you guys taking the mick? Albon's retired as well. What? What is going on here? Why are they all... What? Why are they all retiring? Well, it's not a good weekend, is it, for the Williams? Perez was serving his 5-second time penalty, was he? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, guys, I didn't realise how many of you are here this early in the morning. 400, or over 400 of you are here in this stream this morning. Thank you for being here, guys. I'm not very sharp today. No, it's because I haven't got my headphones in. I've lost my headphones for the Sky TV coverage, so I'm not getting that extra piece of information to tell me why they've retired. As it seems the track map has decided to freeze a little bit on me. There we go. Yeah, no, I'm a little bit behind. It's also Frank. It's just coming up to 7 o'clock in the morning. I've been up since before 5:30. There's a reason why I'm not quite as sharp this morning. And I've only had one coffee. So if the missus is watching, George, can you make me a coffee, please? Love you. We'll find out in about 5 minutes' time whether a coffee does arrive. But yeah, no, mainly it's because I haven't got the information, extra information from Sky, which of course they've got the pit lane reporters that like Ted Kravitz and stuff, who informs them of why teams have retired. So yeah, I assume Stroll and Albon are because of mechanical issues that have forced them to retire, because Stroll in particular was going quite well. So it's a shame for Stroll that he's had to retire. So there it is on the way. Proper 5-star service. I'll be sure to leave a review on TripAdvisor. The green circle on the interval, I actually don't know what that indicates. That is the one thing that I need to go and research in what that indicates. Of course, when they've got the full highlighted green, that means that they're within the 1 second range. But I don't know what that green means, highlighted in the interval. But yeah, let's have a little bit of a rundown now, as we've lost 5 cars from this race and there's 23 laps remaining. So Verstappen is your leader, unsurprisingly, yet to make another pit stop as Tsunoda comes into the pits now off the mediums. So Verstappen does have to make one more pit stop as he has run both the medium compound tyres. 14 seconds ahead of P2, the McLaren of Lando Norris, who is pulling away from his teammate Piastri in P3, who might have picked up some debris damage. I'm I'm going to put that down to that because he seems oddly off the pace compared to his teammate today. Leclerc is P4 and Sainz P5. Are they catching Piastri at the moment? No, seems to be that their pace has leveled off compared to that of the McLaren of Piastri. Hamilton and Russell in P6 and 7. Hamilton on a 2-stopper. Russell is going to the end on this 1-stop on this hard compound tyre. We have the Gasly, the Alpine in P8, Alonso in P9, Ocon P10, Hulkenberg P11, Lawson P12. Where is Lawson? How's he getting on? He's overtaken Magnussen on track, which is good. Come on, Lawboy. Is he going to be able to overtake Hulkenberg? We will see as the track map decides to freeze on itself again. I do apologise, guys. We have Tsunoda in P14, who's just made a pit stop and will definitely be going to the end on this set of compound tyres. And then we have Zhou at the back as well on the hard compound tyre. So, yeah, this race isn't done. I still think there's a story to be told here for the last podium position. I think all be well. Verstappen is P1 and Norris has got P2 sorted. But Piastri may be under threat a little bit from Russell from the 1-stop. And we'll see if Hamilton comes alive at the end, as the Mercedes normally does in a race, as we've seen this year. Means gaining. Yeah, maybe. I'll have a look. You woke up at 5:30 in the morning. Britain is lovely. Yeah, it's still dark outside. You can definitely tell the winter is on its way, guys, as Magnussen is in the pits. It's nice to be in a hoodie, though. I'm looking forward to hoodie season. I need to get myself some new tracksuits. I do like a good hoodie. A nice pair of woolly socks, guys. So it's time to run down the grid. Yep. I have to make my own coffee. Yeah, well, I did this morning because she was still asleep. A mocha. I used to be a mocha, so I never drank coffee, and then I went on to mochas because, obviously, she got that sweetness of the chocolate and the coffee, and then I stepped up to a latte. I'm a latte man. Do like a flat white every now and then, but yeah, generally I just have lattes. Any explanations of why Piastri? I think damage. Now I haven't, as I said, I haven't got my headphones in today. I couldn't find them to get extra information from Sky. So I don't know what they've reported in regards to Piastri having damage. I'm going to suspect it's debris. There was a lot of debris from, obviously, the first lap crash, which brought out the safety car. There was also debris in regards to Perez sending it on Magnussen into turn 11. He seems oddly off the pace, and I think it's debris. I think he's maybe suffered some floor damage somewhere. I'll see if I can see an image of his car to see if there's any visible damage. But I'm going to suspect it's something to do with the floor. He's gone to run over some debris, and that's why he's slower than his teammate Norris, but on pace with the Ferraris. Espresso all the way. You like the hard stuff, Paul. You like the hard stuff. Chai latte. Ooh, likes the spiciness. That's the spicy one, isn't it? Has a bit of a kick to it. Mud water. Who crashed, Angel? Well, we had Cortado. At the start, so basically Perez got Bottas got wedged in between Albon and that's why Albon's probably retired, guys. You know, now I'm thinking about it. That's why I'm thinking about it. So basically, Albon was minding his own business at the start on the outside. Bottas got wedged by Ocon moving over and wedged Bottas basically into Albon. That brought out the safety car for damage. Bottas unfortunately had to retire due to that after a couple of laps. Albon, I assume, has suffered too much damage from that as well, but lasted a lot longer into this race, which is why he's retired. Then a little bit later on, Perez, after also receiving front wing damage at the start of the race with contact with Hamilton, trying to avoid a similar incident between Sainz coming through the middle. He sent it from an absolute different postcode on Magnussen. Look at this, guys. Look at this. 5-star service. Thank you very much. Lovely. Oh, nice and hot as well. Nice and hot. Perez sent it from a different postcode into turn 11. And yeah, Worse than any of his moves in Singapore. Just, yeah, lost another front wing, got another 5-second time penalty, and was retired. So that is, yeah, that is bad for Perez this weekend. I really want you guys to see this after the race. I'll see if I can show it, because it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So Perez's incident with Hamilton, Perez left Hamilton no room on the outside. Yeah, he did, but he didn't realise Hamilton was there, in fairness to him. Hamilton, there's a bit of lag today. I do apologise, guys. As Leclerc is now into the pits, coming off of the medium compound tyre. So let's see what he goes on to. Is he going to go on to the softs? A used set of softs? I don't think so. He's got to go on to the hards, surely. As Hamilton is also into the pits as well. So Russell now goes up into P5, overtaking Hamilton and Leclerc. Of course, Russell doing that one stop, trying to take these to the end. Let's see if this two stop is going to work and be quicker for Hamilton. Of course, there could still be some fireworks out on track a little bit later on in this race. So is Hamilton going to be overtaken by Alonso here as they head down into T1? No, Alonso just a little bit too far back. And Hamilton on a brand new set of hard compound tyres should be able to take these to the end of the race. And yeah, is he going to be able to catch Leclerc? We will see. I think it's going to be all out now. Hammer time for Hamilton. And, of course, let's see if he can catch Leclerc and his teammate Russell. They've already gone wheel to wheel 3 times today. Let's see if, yeah, that continues. We know George isn't going to let off easy, but neither is Hamilton. Lap 1, T1 is just in its. Yes, so basically, going back to the start, yeah, Perez was more concentrated. He was 3 wide with basically Leclerc and Sainz. He got a bit of a poor start, and Sainz just sent it through the middle of a really tight gap between Perez and Sainz. So Perez and Leclerc. Perez moved over slightly to avoid Sainz making contact and didn't realise that Hamilton was coming up on his outside, and his front wing made contact with Hamilton's wheel. Hamilton very lucky, actually, but he didn't receive a puncture. As Piastri is now also into the pits, coming off of those hard tyres. So let's see what Piastri goes on to. Most likely the hards as well, as Russell also goes into P4 now. So we are definitely going to see some on-track overtaking. If Piastri and McLaren want this double podium today, Piastri is going to have to get the move done on Russell out on track. Should be good to see these two go at it. I think for the first time this year, I don't think Piastri and Russell have gone wheel to wheel all season yet. So yes, Piastri out on a set of hard compound tyres. McLaren, just like Mercedes, had 2 brand new sets of hards available for this race. So yes, let's see what they can do. So the middle phase of this race has got a little bit quiet, as we've seen a few retirees. Of course, there's a bit of a spread in the field. Verstappen now 15.5 seconds ahead of Norris, and Norris likewise also 13 seconds ahead of Sainz. But yes, I think the end of this race is going to be a little exciting, as Hamilton went purple in the last sector last time around and is now purple in the first sector as well. So keep an eye out on Hamilton. He was 5 tenths quicker in the first sector there than compared to that of Leclerc. So I think, as we have said all along, as Norris now comes into the pits, Hamilton and in that Mercedes always comes alive in the last stint of a race. But has he got enough laps to maybe catch Leclerc and Piastri and his own teammate Russell? We will see, as Hamilton's most definitely going to set a fastest lap here at this stage of the race. Purple in the second sector. Let's keep an eye on that lap time as he comes across the line. Wow, he is considerably closed the gap there on Leclerc, isn't he? 36.7 for Leclerc, and Hamilton sets a 35.6, over a second difference there in that lap alone. Hamilton, intriguingly enough, didn't set the fastest last sector, but was 3 tenths quicker in that last sector alone compared to Leclerc, who Leclerc is also catching Piastri there, I think, as well. I think Piastri has lost out quite a bit of time. Seems to really be struggling here. Got to have had damage. Got to have damage. Be a real shame because Piastri does deserve his first podium, as Norris is on the back of Russell, of course, who is on that one-stop strategy. So Norris will most definitely get Russell today, quite evidently the second fastest man on the grid. But let's see how long those hard compound tyres last for Hamilton compared to Leclerc and Piastri. We know that they're only really at their optimum after that first lap, and then they fall off pretty quickly in regards to pace. So Verstappen in the pits now from his ridiculous lead that he has. Let's see what he is going to go on to. Most likely that brand new set of hard compound tyres that he has available. I am up early, Vectrix. Yeah, up early once again. Yes, I was up at 5:15 this morning, 5:20. So, yeah, got West Ham on at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Come on, you Irons, playing Liverpool. So I've got a bit of sport to watch later. And then I'm definitely going to stream tonight doing my own sim racing in the Super Formula Series. So if you guys want to come and check that out with me and chat some more F1, post-race F1, feel free to do so. Yeah, really, really enjoying that at the moment. Perez is coming back. No, he's not. He's not allowed. He's not allowed. He's not allowed. Did you think I'd be streaming so early? Always. As Norris goes fastest in the purple sector, guys, a 34.3 that time around. So Hamilton, last time around, a 36.1 compared to Leclerc's 36.8. So he is catching Leclerc. He is catching Leclerc. What about Piastri? Piastri did a 36.6. So Piastri, even with a suspected damaged car, why is Perez sitting in the car? You guys are right. Why is Perez just sitting in the car? Is he refusing to get out? He's like, no, I'm not getting out of here until I sign a new contract. You are not putting Liam Lawson in this car. No. The next GP is Qatar. Next GP is Qatar, not this weekend, not next weekend, the weekend after. So we've got a couple of weeks now because we've just had 2 weeks in a row. So, and then I think we got a triple header. I think we got Qatar. As Sainz is now into the pits, is Sainz going to be able to get out ahead of Hamilton? I don't think so. So Sainz has lost time there by staying out longer to Hamilton. But, of course, there is the offset that Sainz will have fresher tyres by a few laps towards the end of this race. So we'll see if Sainz is able to make up any time whatsoever on Hamilton in this latter stages of this race. But, yes, yeah, we've got a triple header, I think, coming up. So, thing is, it might be like what happened to Albon. If you put Lawson in the car, as the pace difference would just be huge. Yeah, I kind of don't want Lawson in that second Red Bull seat because I just feel like whoever goes there it's a poison chalice while Max is there because Max is that good. He's that good that eventually, whether you're on pace earlier on in the season with him, like we've seen with Perez, as the season progresses and as the development progresses, it gears more towards Max because Max is able to unlock more pace out of the car via the use of experience and setup. And they naturally just start developing towards the driver who can extract the speed more out of the car. And Perez hasn't been able to do that. And that's mainly where Perez's issues have come from, is that he's tried to use the same setups as Max, implement the same driving style because he's seen the data of what this car has the potential of, but he cannot replicate it because he's just not as good of a driver and it doesn't suit his driving style. So that's why we're seeing Perez struggle since like Monaco. And naturally, the development from Red Bull's side has then pushed more towards Max. Now, they won't confirm that, but that is probably a very good assumption that is what has happened because it's just naturally what you would do as a team leader. Why wouldn't you? So, sorry, mate, but up the Reds. Oh, Glenn. Ugh. Don't make me sing I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles, all right? It should be a good game. Liverpool have been playing very well. Liverpool have actually sneakily been playing very well. They've been going under the radar, considering you replaced your whole of pretty much the whole of your midfield. You've had obviously the issues with Salah as well, with the distractions of Saudi Arabia off track. Off fields. No, you've been doing very well. So I think it'll be a good game. Obviously, West Ham are doing good. We only lost to City, so there's no shame in that. Right, so Piastri all over the back of Russell now as unpredictably, guys, who would have thought that? Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race on his first lap on the hard compound tyres of 34.1. Norris just comfortably ahead, but can Piastri get Russell? I think he can. This should be a foregone conclusion as Russell 38.0 last time around. Let's see what Piastri can do with a 36.5. This should just be a little bit of patience for Piastri and wait for the DRS overtake down into T1. And Piastri. Whoa, why is Perez out on track? I'm trying to listen to Sky. So Crofty is saying there's going to be a massive penalty. Sorry, I am genuinely stunned. No, he's back in. Now he's back in. Now he's back in. He's back in the pit. What are they doing? No, Perez genuinely came back out. And he's back out again? I'm going to have to put my car... What is going on? What? He's come back out and then he's gone back... What? Piastri's still behind Russell, by the way, guys. I'm just stunned. I'm stunned at what Red Bull's logic is here. He's serving penalties so they don't affect Qatar. Are they really? Are they really? I'm sorry. I am sorry, but this is absolutely ridiculous by Red Bull. This is absolutely ridiculous. Some people may call it genius, but I think it's ridiculous. You're putting a guy out on track who's basically sat in the car for the last 25 laps. So what? They could go... I don't know. I'm not even sure it's legal. They're saying on the Sky commentary that there could be an even harsher penalty coming out to Perez here. I'm intrigued to see how this plays out after the race. But what an absolute joke. Like, Joe is running his race right now. Is he going to come into the pits now, Perez? Is he going to do another lap and come into the pits? He is, yeah, he is. So he is serving the penalties. What? I've never seen this. I'm genuinely stunned. Right, let's have a look. So Piastri has got past Russell down into T1. Let's get back to this. So Piastri made the move on Russell down into T1. Well done, Piastri. Leclerc is now going to be on the back of Russell. Interestingly enough, Hamilton has dropped off the pace a little bit. Leclerc has been quicker. But Russell is around a second slower than that of Hamilton. So as I predicted, guys, there's still going to be some fireworks, I think, between those Mercedes boys come the end of this race. We have 11 laps remaining, so we'll see. But do you know what? The one blooming race I haven't got my headphones in for Sky coverage. I'd love to hear what they're talking about. I turned it up a little bit to hear, and the one thing I heard was Crofty saying they're going to get a hefty penalty for that, surely. Maybe it's within the regulations. Maybe that's what they were waiting for, was the regulations, and that's what they've done. They've got him to go out and serve those penalties. But then again, his penalties were only 5-second time penalties, so they just get added on to the end of the race, don't they? Oh no, maybe they don't, because obviously it's a retired car. He cannot retire. So maybe they've just got to get him to sit in the pit lane for the whole, sit in the car for the whole race, but he doesn't actually, so he's not actually retired, and those 5-second time penalties get added to the end of the race rather than carry over to Qatar. Maybe that's their logic. It's the only thing I can think of. Red Bull sent Perez out to clear all penalties for the next race. Official. Okay, so that's what they've done. So you cannot apply 5-second time penalties, of course, to a car that has retired. So they've sent him out to serve those penalties. Maybe they thought they couldn't, because everyone had deemed him to be retired. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll catch up on this after the race. I'm sure it will all come out. But yeah, big thank you to everyone who is tuning into this stream so early in the morning. I know that obviously a lot of you in the US, it is now very early in the morning for you. Of course, in Europe, we are, well, before 9 o'clock. It is now 20 past 7 as Russell is under attack from Leclerc here. We have 10 laps remaining of this Japanese Grand Prix as Lawson is under attack from Tsunoda. So we have the AlphaTauri teammates. Tsunoda, who has just signed a new contract with AlphaTauri for next year, and Lawson, who will probably feel aggrieved that he does not have a seat for next year, going at it at Yuki Tsunoda's home Grand Prix. So there's a bit of a feistiness there. Hamilton, with this battle with Leclerc and Russell, is catching at a rate of knots now. So there's still some racing to be had at the end of this race. I think Piastri, while this fight continues with Leclerc and Russell, is going to secure himself a P3. Fully deserved, in my opinion. I reckon he's definitely got damage. Seems to be oddly off the pace today compared to his teammate Norris. That's no disrespect to Norris. But, of course, as we saw in qualifying and through the practice sessions, there was not this big of a gap. So I think he's picked up a bit of floor damage from the amount of debris at the start of the race. But, yes, there's still some racing to be had at the end of this race. So Perez has now officially retired the car. Thank God for everyone's safety. he's retired the car. But yes, no, big thank you to everyone who was here. We've got 550 of you. So yeah, if you're returning, much appreciated. If you're a returning viewer, please, if you can hit that like button. We're on 66 likes. If we can get 100 likes, just over 30 likes. Come on, just over 30 of you can hit that like button and get this stream to over 100 likes. It just helps us to continue this community and this channel. So Leclerc has got ahead of Russell there into the first corner. Now, how much of a fight is Russell going to put up on Hamilton? We've already seen him go wheel to wheel 3 times this race, and I think the split strategy here was mainly to separate them out on track because they were getting very, very feisty, rather than trying to convince Russell that this would work. Let's see how Russell's going to put up such a hard defense. Such a hard defense here. If they make contact, I think this could be the start of a Nico-Lewis relationship. It could be 2016 all over again, guys. Piastri could get his first podium. Hopefully. Thank you for the subs there, George. Welcome from Singapore. Lovely to see you. Benson, thank you as well. Kugan, thank you for the sub. And anyone else who has subbed, Ashwin, RF, JA, Marcos, Denny, anyone else who has subbed in the meantime, big thank you, guys. If it doesn't always show up as an alert on YouTube if you don't have your subscribers set to public. But yes, no, we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time for the Qatar Grand Prix. But it's not been the most exciting Suzuka Grand Prix. I think the start was. It could be an exciting end, though, because Hamilton is catching Russell, who is on, obviously, double the length old tyres compared to Hamilton. So, yes, Hamilton needs to be careful. He needs to make this move quickly, because if he doesn't, then Sainz will be on the back of him. It'd be interesting to see, will there be any team orders? SJ, thank you for the sub, buddy. Is there going to be any team orders here? I don't think there will be. We'll see. Maybe Russell will be told to move over and let Hamilton pass, because Hamilton is that much quicker at the moment. I mean, Russell 39.2 last time around compared to Hamilton's 37.2. If you were team principal, Toto Wolff isn't here this weekend, I think you'd be getting on the blower, you'd be giving Russell a call and saying, look, don't fight this. You are 2 seconds a lap slower than Lewis. Let him past. There's a time and a place to fight, not now. The one stop hasn't worked. Let Lewis past. But Russell probably ignore that and won't do it. Leclerc and Russell leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Turn 2, no incident noted. So could there be a penalty for Leclerc? Thanks, Gwen. So, here we go. Try and pronounce your surname. Ville. Luca Ville. So I'm going to pronounce it. Probably wrong. There's probably a pronunciation in there or something. But, yeah, no, thank you guys for everyone who was here. 98 likes. Oh, who's going to be that 100th like? Go on. Two more. But, yes, here we go. Hamilton with the DRS open. Not got enough to make a move down into T1. He needs to be cautious here, of course, not only because it's his teammate, but because it's his feisty teammate. As we said, they've already kind of bumped wheels a couple of times this race already. Lawson still holding off Yuki Tsunoda, who is also within that DRS zone. Keep an eye out on the AlphaTauri's at the bottom of the track map there as they head through 130R. So Russell and Hamilton fighting it out here. Definitely holding up Hamilton as this has allowed Sainz to close up the gap. A 36.7 from Sainz last time around. If you're Mercedes, you are asking Russell to let Hamilton past because you do not want to let a Ferrari split this Mercedes pair and create a Mercedes sandwich. That is for sure. Because if Sainz gets past Hamilton, it's most likely that he will get past Russell and get those extra points. At the moment, at least, if Hamilton is able to get past Russell, he might have a go at Leclerc with... I don't think so. But you're at least securing more points if Hamilton is able to get past Russell. And I think we're going to see a Hamilton with a tyre delta considerably better than Russell. Not hang around and try and overtake Russell here. He's not going to be patient like he was in Singapore. He is definitely going to want to get this move done. So keep an eye out on Hamilton. He's going to probably be late on the brakes into turn 16 and 17. With the DRS activated down turn 18. He's going to have much better traction out of the 17th corner, which is the chicane. And he's half a second behind of that of George Russell. Maybe George is going to be using a bit more battery as they head down into T1. Hamilton not able to gain enough as they head down into T1 on his teammate. And, this is all getting very close here between Sainz and Hamilton and Russell. And to be honest, Mercedes now have missed a opportunity to allow Hamilton to get past Russell and avoid this whole scenario. This is all could have been avoided, to be perfectly honest with you. But unfortunately, yes, they've left Hamilton and Russell to continue to fight. And Lawson and Tsunoda are still going at it here. Is Tsunoda's not really able to get within around half a second of Lawson, which is what he needs to overtake the same car as him with DRS. Let's keep an eye on that as they head down into the first corner. And Tsunoda, is he able to make a move? No, not able to make a move on his teammate Lawson. I'm sure he is itching to get past him, the man who he has just beaten to that seat for next year. So Russell, Hamilton and Sainz as they head through Spoon Corner. Here we go again with the toe all the way down through 130R. It's full throttle here. 130R used to be a corner, not anymore. And here they are down into the chicane. Let's see if Hamilton is going to be able to get under that half a second out of turn 16 and 17. That's really what he needs. Last time around, he was half a second behind Russell under traction, and there he is again. He's losing time under traction there. You can see the interval creeping up as they head out of turn 17 and through turn 18, and he's not... Oh, he's made a move! Hamilton, surprisingly enough, has got round Russell there into turn 2. Maybe used a little bit of extra battery. Maybe Russell lifted slightly to let Hamilton past. I'm not sure. But Hamilton there, I really didn't think he was going to get the move done. He came back from 6 tenths back and got the move done nicely on Russell. Maybe that was team orders. I'm not so sure. I'm going to wait for the TV coverage to see how hard Russell fought for that position. But yes, Hamilton there, and already look at it. Look how much difference Hamilton has pulled out. A bit of a gap now in just a couple of corners there through the S's and the first sector, then that of Russell. So can Russell keep Sainz behind? I don't think he'll be able to, but Unfortunately, this has robbed us of a Leclerc-Hamilton battle, but interesting nonetheless, guys. Interesting nonetheless. So thank you for all the subs who came in not too long ago. Much appreciated, guys. Lawson and Tsunoda still going at it, and this is allowing Zhou to catch up all this while. So maybe there might be a three-way fight on the last lap between Lawson, Tsunoda, and Zhou as Verstappen is approaching Guan Yu Zhou to overtake him for basically lapping him. So Norris, let's have a little rundown of the positions here as Sainz is all over the back of Russell as they head through 130R. Actually, we're going to stay on board with this battle as Sainz, look at that, 0.1 of a second behind Russell as they headed into that chicane. This is going to be a lot of an easier overtake to Russell than it is Hamilton on Russell. And here we go. Russell has got DRS, but Sainz has got the move done as they head down into T1 and nice and easy. And well, is it over and done with? Is there going to be Sainz and Hamilton at the end of this race? I think they're on similar pace. I think we could still have a bit of a fight here as we head into the last couple of laps. What happened to all the people retiring? Bottas and Albon basically retired from a first lap incident, but a little bit after the first lap because of damage they received. Sargent, I don't know why they retired him, probably because he was just poor. Stroll, I think mechanical issue, and Perez basically was removed for his own safety and everyone else's own safety because he was just sending it from different countries. But then he still went out and served his penalties, which was very odd after sitting in the car for 25 laps. Very, very odd, guys. Very, very odd. Who's the helmet? That's Lewis Hamilton's helmet. I got that at a Mercedes sim racing event that I qualified for. And I then went on a tour of the Mercedes factory, which was very insightful, and went in their esports center. So that was, it was good. That was good fun and a good day out. That was very insightful to see how an F1 team operates behind the scenes. Russell was told to let him past. He was okay. So, I mean, bloody hell, they waited long enough to let him pass, didn't they? Let Lewis past when Carlos Sainz has got up to the back of you. You know, like, ridiculous, really, when you think about it. Absolutely ridiculous. And if Sainz gets Hamilton now, then that's just such an even worse decision by the Mercedes team. Because there was at least 3 laps that Hamilton was stuck behind Russell before Sainz caught them. So Hamilton will, I think Sainz is better off with his tyres. We did say he's 4 laps fresher tyres he has, Sainz, compared to Hamilton. So yeah, I think that's going to go down to the last. So let's have a look, guys. I'm going to run driver of the day as the missus has nudged me to do. Let's have a look at driver of the day. Tsunoda not able to close that gap, is he, on Lawson there as they head down into T1 again. Is he being asked to hold station? I don't think so. I can't imagine he will be able to. I don't think he would accept that, to be honest. Right. Of course. There is always Max. There is always Max. Then we have Lando. Then we have Piastri. Pastry. Do you know what? I always spell Piastri wrong. It's pastry. And, of course, how could it not be? How could it not be? Your man, Checo Perez. I genuinely hope he gets driver of the day as well in the F1 poll. That'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious. Right, guys, we have 2 laps remaining as Verstappen has... Oh, no. Max, what are you doing, bruv? You've just got in between the battle between Lawson and Tsunoda. That was... we could have seen a last lap fight there because I imagine Tsunoda was going to have a lunge on Lawson at the end. 33% of you are going for Perez. Do you know what? That's actually quite a balanced driver of the day, guys. It's moving up quite a bit. Right, so I'll tell you what, that fight is still on. Lawson letting Verstappen through. Tsunoda is now right over the back of him. So let's have a rundown of this final lap. Verstappen is your leader and will be your winner. He is 20 seconds ahead of second place Lando Norris. We have Piastri in P3, who is 6 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Hamilton is being attacked by Carlos Sainz, who has the DRS, but I don't think Sainz is close enough to make that make that DRS work as they head down into T1. We have Russell in P7, who tried the one stop and it has failed, unfortunately. We also have Alonso in P8, kind of decent performance from him. Gasly and Ocon doing a good recovery after a poor qualifying for them in 9th and 10th. Lawson and Tsunoda going at it. This is where it's closest at the moment, other than Hamilton and Sainz. Hamilton has fended off Sainz into T1 and T2, so we'll see if Hamilton can last for the remainder of this lap. Only a few corners left for him, but Lawson and Tsunoda, well, they've bid lap now, so they will be finishing this lap, and I think bar it a mistake into the last chicane, Lawson will hold off Tsunoda at his home circuit at the weekend, where Lawson has been denied a seat for next year unless something happens with Sergio after this weekend. And Tsunoda has gone across the line, and Max Verstappen is your Japanese Grand Prix winner. He has recovered from that terrible, well, I say terrible, just not as up to par performance at the Singapore Grand Prix, where Red Bull struggled as a whole. Lando Norris is P2, and Piastri, coming through 16 and 17 now, is about to secure his first podium in F1 as a rookie, and I think suspected with a damaged McLaren as well, is going to get his first podium in P3. Leclerc is going to secure a P4, top 5 for him, and Hamilton up 2 positions, holds off Sainz at the end there and beats him to that top 5 in the Mercedes. Sainz in 6th, Russell doing the one stop in P7, Alonso trudging up behind there in P8, Gasly in P9, Ocon P10, and then of course we have the lap cars, Lawson P11, Tsunoda 12th, Zhou 13th, the 2 Haases 14th and 15th, and then we have 5 retirees. We have Albon and Sargent in the Williams, Stroll in 18, Perez, our double retiree and probably driver of the day, and Bottas in 20th. And that is your Japanese Grand Prix, guys. Not the most exciting, I would say. It definitely threw up some surprises. Perez being the most of being probably the biggest one. Perez's performance today was goated, retired twice, and drama. He is a full-on meme today, isn't he? He's a full-on meme. Has he got driver of the day? Have they named the driver of the day? I'm waiting to see F1's official driver of the day. They normally announce it just after everyone finishes the finishing line. So, but yeah, 29% of you, 27% saying Verstappen. Oh, it's close between Perez and Verstappen and Pastry. And by the way, guys, that has also wrapped up officially the Constructors' Championship for Red Bull at Suzuka. So Red Bull are your Constructors' Champions officially now. Was it ever in doubt? To be honest, I think that was evident after the second race, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not sure when Verstappen can wrap up the championship. Probably can't be long. There's only 6 races remaining. He could probably wrap it up. Can he wrap it up in the next couple of races? They do reject meme driver of the day results, do they? Oh, okay. Mercedes wasted so much race time then. 100% agree with you, Connor. 100% agree with you. They could have been challenging Leclerc. They should have swapped the positions of Hamilton and Russell a lot sooner. Oh, hang on. Why is there a yellow flag in Sector 3, 4 and 5? What's occurred there? Fastest lap of the race was, of course, Max Verstappen. So other than the leading every single lap, guys, Verstappen almost got a Grand Slam, but he won basically all the practice sessions, I say won, but he basically got all the practice sessions, was P1. He was obviously pole and fastest in qualifying, and then he's won the race and won, and also got the fastest lap as well. But yeah, no, big thank you guys. Red Bull were talking with the FIA about Perez and negotiate what they had to do to make sure no carryover penalties. Well, I think that's ridiculous, to be completely honest with you. Why are the FIA negotiating with Red Bull again? Why are they allowed to negotiate? I guess that they're asking, oh, can we send our driver back out? Well, no. If I guess technically they haven't retired the car, but I feel like if a car is 26 laps down, you have a due diligence to not put a car back out into a live race after a driver has sat still in a car for 26 laps. You have a due diligence as for safety, as a team, the integrity of the sport. Like, no. Once that car has got back into the garage and is that many laps down, I think that's utterly ridiculous. Perez is back out on track. Wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me after the race is done. But yeah, it's Red Bull and FIA equals Dream Team. I just don't like it. I just think it's ridiculous, and I'm intrigued to see what everyone's thoughts will be after the race. I've listened to the F1 podcasts and stuff like that. I'm not on the Missed Apex podcast this evening. Oh, I'd love to be. I'd love to be on the podcast this evening. There's a few things I'd like to say about Perez, that's for sure. No, he didn't leave his car. So that's obviously they're saying. They wheeled the car back into the garage. They left him in the car. Obviously, during that time, they were obviously negotiating with the FIA about how they could serve the penalties, because he got served the 5-second time penalty after he retired the car for the first time. And then, yeah, he ended up coming back out. But the thing, what he did as well is that he came out after 25 laps and did a lap, came into the pit, served another penalty, came back out again, and then went back in and pitted and then retired the car. Perez jumped out the car but instantly got in before he was fully out. Probably could be considered a long pit stop, but he was in the garage, so confusing. He did leave the car as replay showed him getting back in. We'll see. I'm not sure if... Yeah, see, I don't know what the rules are, because do you remember the Silverstone Grand Prix where Zhou obviously flipped over and George Russell stopped, didn't he? So George Russell stopped the car and went and checked on Zhou, came back to the car. Now, I know, but this is red flag conditions, so it's different. The race wasn't live. But the rule was, if George could get back in his car and get the car back to the pits under its own steam, they could repair that car fully under red flag, and he could then restart the race. Because they took the car back on a flatbed, on a vehicle, he wasn't able to restart the race, wasn't able to repair the car and restart the race. I don't think him jumping out of the car had any relevance whatsoever. It was only the fact the car was taken back, not under its own steam. So because Perez got back to the pits on his own, and then the fact he got out of the car, I'm not sure what the rules are around him getting out of the car. That's the tricky one there. But I guess we'll find out. From all the experts and the FIA and all these regulations and stuff that will come out in the next couple of hours. Next week, Max should bring it home. Gap is now, I believe, 180 points left to be gained. Okay, yeah, I knew it wasn't long. Oh, hang on, just... Okay, let's have a look at... I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a look at Twitter. I want to see what people are saying. I'm sure there's going to be some information on there that I am not aware of and have missed, of course, because of not having my headphones in with Sky. Let's have a look, guys, and see. what was said. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to move you guys over here. Right. Oh, crap. Russell put himself on a sketchy one stop in a high deg race and then wanted to hold his teammate up who was 2 seconds a lap faster on a normal strategy, and then went on the radio to ask for teamwork, eventually losing 8 seconds in the few remaining laps. Yeah, I didn't hear that from George, obviously, with the radio calls, but Mercedes definitely missed a trick in not letting Hamilton pass sooner, because they could have avoided that whole thing with Sainz chasing Hamilton down at the end, the pressurising him. Perez is an absolute liability on track, constantly making clumsy moves, slow, always having to come back from poor qualifying, etc. What upsides is he providing aside from making Verstappen look better? Intriguing thought there. Was thinking about the amount of room 63 was due, which is none under these rules. Wasn't looking at Hamilton. Russell has the ego of Michael Schumacher and the ability of Ralph Schumacher. Ooh, that's a bold statement, that. Norris put some manners on Piastri there. Future is bright for 81, but that's a bit of a reality check. Right, let's have a look at the Japan Grand Prix actual. Let's have a look at the actual hashtag. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Carlos Sainz versus Mercedes. You dare use my own spells against me? They're using my trick against me in regards to using the DRS. That is Checo Perez right there. That's really tickled me. So true. Let's see latest, see what people have said. Max literally won the constructors on his own. Yeah, he kind of did, really, didn't he? He kind of did. Oh, there's too much. There's too much coming through. Let's go home. I've got lots of posts anyway. This has been one of the most complete constructors titles ever. Incredible. So happy for McLaren, seeing back where they are. Yeah, it was a solid performance by McLaren. Solid performance. Great podium from Piastri. I tell you what, definite one for the future. As we said earlier on, that is one that's going to get feisty, guys. That is going to get feisty. Do I like smoked meat? Oh, yes, I do. I do like a bit of smoked meat. I've got a brisket to cook later as well. Sunday's just going to get better. Even better when West Ham beat Liverpool later as well. For all you Liverpool fans in the chat. Am I against George trying to race Lewis? No, none whatsoever. I really like George. I just think at the end of the race there, when there's such a difference in tyre, I'm just saying, I'm looking at it from a perspective of a team principal for Mercedes. So I like to try and I have my favourites, of course I do. There's people that I support and there's drivers that I prefer over others. But I also try to look subjectively and look at like the thinking behind what I would do if I was a team principal and stuff. And I think if you're Mercedes there, you have to make the call that Lewis was 2 seconds a lap faster on the two-stop strategy. George fighting Lewis so hard at the start of the race, I don't know if George, reading from one of the tweets earlier just there, I'm not sure if George called the one stop and wanted the one stop. If he did, then fair enough, but I'm still under the impression and the thought that because how hard Russell was fighting George, he is fucking George Russell. Russell was fighting Lewis earlier on in the race, that to avoid them coming together anymore, they split the strategy. So that when they did then next come together on track, there would be a significant tyre delta, like there was, but then Mercedes didn't let Lewis go past. They should have given George the heads up pretty quickly as soon as Lewis was approaching him and said, look, Lewis is 2 seconds a lap quicker. This one stop hasn't worked out. You need to let him through. because there's a potential Lewis could have caught Leclerc at the end, and there's a potential that he could have, and they could have avoided the whole Carlos Sainz situation, pressuring him at the end as well. So, but no, I want to see good racing. I want to see them race. I'd love to see them go together. I want some feistiness. I want some spiciness in F1. All this nicey between teammates and drivers is it's a bit boring. I want the drama, guys. I want the rivalries. I want that. Obviously, we haven't got that with Max at the moment because he's out on his own in a league of his own. Obviously, Lewis is not in a car to compete against him. I want that inter-team battles. I want that spiciness. It's kind of the joys of F1 in the past is those spicy battles we've seen. I'm a Lewis fan, but I have a soft spot for George, but I don't understand some of Lewis fans flaming George going around the outside. No, I think, look, George obviously saw an opportunity to go at him. I think I always want to see racing. The thing is more of, you have to look at the position that Mercedes are in at the moment. Mercedes have not got a car capable of fighting for wins, and in some instances not fighting for podiums, like this weekend. Now, they are only having a go at themselves if, I get, obviously, if you see as a race driver, if you see an opportunity, regardless if you're a teammate, you're going to go for a move. I get that. But at the same time, they're in a similar situations what they were in last year with the W13. They need to focus more on working together to bring that team forward and bring the car forwards to get the best results possible, rather than fighting each other. They need to just look at the bigger picture. And I think this year, George in particular has looked at focusing more on beating Lewis. He's in his second year of Mercedes now, and he's focusing more on, I need to beat Lewis. I need to beat Lewis. I need to be ahead of him in qualifying. George has predominantly set his car up for qualifying as well this year compared to races, which is why he's like held on to position compared to Lewis. That's why Lewis has always been kind of quicker generally in the race compared to George. So that's how George has approached this year. But yeah, I want to see racing, but you have to look at the larger picture as a team. And if I was Mercedes, I'd be like, look, I don't want you guys to... If I was Toto Wolff, I'd be like, look, I don't want you guys to fight with respect. We haven't got the car to fight. We need to work together to get these results. And then when we've got a car that could win races and get consistent podiums or whatever, then you boys can fight. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Hoping the Hammers go good. Yeah, me too. Who got driver of the day? Yes, so I need to end that poll, don't I? Hang on a sec, guys. So last few votes. Get your last few votes in for driver of the day. I'm about to end the poll. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Verstappen got driver of the day. I'm disappointed Perez didn't get driver of the day. But Pastry there, Piastri, got 29%, Perez 23%. So, Connor, if they would have done the DRS trick at the end, they would have lost both. They would have lost. Yeah, no, they definitely would have done. So, hey, Marlin. No worries, Jam. Thank you, buddy. Good to see you again. I think that's a bit tough on Perez, maybe. You always race into the safety car line. Maybe not. That's just... Oh, yeah, that was with his... Perez hit Hamilton twice, then ran him off track. Should have investigate after the race to check the penalty doesn't affect Red Bull too much. They have stress that this won't be tolerated if anyone else does it. Disappointed into the week of Perez. What on earth has been going on with his racing recently? So many battles with nasty contact. Yeah, he's fighting back. That's why. He's fighting back. Fully expecting it to be an upcoming rule change to stop a retired car coming back on track to serve a penalty. 100% this is going to be the case. 100%. Yeah, it's that's ridiculous that was even allowed, guys. Ridiculous that was even allowed. Right. No, thank you, Spud. No worries, buddy. Don't have a cockpit for my sim racing setup. I have a wheel stand. Whenever I hit the brakes, my chair rolls backwards. Ooh, what chair have you got? You got it on. What you need to get is like the casters that are flat Vectrix. That's what I had to do. So if you get the You can buy them from like Amazon, because the casters, like the wheels, they just pop out. Basically, you can pull them out. They might be a bit stiff to pull out, and then yeah, you put those in, and at least they'll be a lot more solid, buddy. So that's what I'd recommend. But yeah, no, big thank you guys. Very, very. At least it provided us with some laughs. The Suzuka there, the Japanese Grand Prix. Yeah, it was an interesting one, obviously with Perez and that. Obviously the constructors title has now been wrapped up by Red Bull. That was Max's obviously revenge there, revenge story after Singapore. So yeah, we'll obviously we head to Qatar in a couple of weeks' time. Red Bull are probably going to continue this dominance until the end of the year, until these teams can properly like start with their brand new cars. It's called kind of patchwork at the moment. Thank you, Daisy. No Rose Jordan. Enjoy your evening, buddy. I was going to say, who got it in real life though? What driver of the day? Piastri got driver of the day for his first podium, guys. For his first podium, well deserved. I still believe that he got damage. I think he was driving with a damaged car. So yeah. But yeah, guys, no, much appreciated. Thank you for joining me so early in the morning in the European time, of course, in the US as well. I know for some of you, well, most of you now, it is very early in the morning. And for those of you who are on the Asian side of the world, the Eastern side of the world, yeah, back to early morning races for you in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, no, have a lovely rest of your Sunday, guys, whether it be day, evening, yeah, morning, whatever. I'm going to stream later on this evening. I'm now going to go rest myself, maybe catch up on some sleep, and have a bite to eat. So yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for all the new subs. We'll be back in a couple of weeks' time for the Qatar Grand Prix. And yes, of course, in that meantime, I'll be doing my own sim racing content. So yeah, have a lovely rest of your Sunday, and I'll catch you then. Bye, guys.